welcome to Open the Book. It's not fair. How many of you have said that to your mum, to your friend, or even to your teacher? I wonder what their reply was. We all seem to have our own idea of what is fair, don't we? Sometimes we shout, "It's not fair," even when we know that it was fair, but don't want to accept it. Today, we're going to hear another of our surprising stories, and what an interesting story it is. Remember to listen carefully, not to miss the surprise at the end. And today, not counting, but we're going to do some work on the clock. So each time you see a clock, join in with me, reading what time it is. So let's find out more as we open the book and read Everyone Gets the Same. Jesus' friends were worried. They'd left everything to follow him, but what would they get in return? So Jesus told his friends this story. There was once a rich man, a farmer who owned a big vineyard where he grew lots of grapes. One morning, he woke up at 6 o'clock and looked out of his window. "Goodness me," he said, "it's harvest time and I have so many grapes to pick. I need workers in my vineyard." So he got out of bed and went to the town to see who he could find. It was so early that all the biggest, strongest workers were there looking for work. "I'll give you work," he said. "Come with me." "We're big and strong," they said. "How much will you pay us?" £50 each, he answered. They all agreed and went to the vineyard to work. It was 9 o'clock in the morning and the farmer was having his breakfast. He looked out over his vineyard. "Goodness me," he said, "I've still got so many grapes to pick. I need more workers." So he went to the town and found some people standing around doing nothing. They looked quick and clever. "I'll give you work," he said. "Come with me." "We're quick and clever," they said. "How much will you pay us?" £50 each, he answered. They all agreed and went to the vineyard to work. It was now 1 o'clock, lunchtime, and the farmer was munching his sandwiches. He looked out over his vineyard. "Goodness me," he said, "I've still got so many grapes to pick. I need even more workers." So he went to town and found some more people who looked pretty useful and ready for anything. "I'll give you work," he said. "Come with me." "We're pretty useful and ready for anything," they said. "How much will you pay us?" £50 each, he answered. They all agreed and went to the vineyard to work. Now it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and the farmer was having his afternoon tea. He looked out over his vineyard and guess what? Yes, he still needed more workers. So off to the town he went and found some people to pick his grapes. They weren't strong and they weren't fit and they looked a bit clueless, but he said to them anyway, "I'll give you work. Come with me." "We're not strong and we're not fit and to be honest we're a bit clueless," they said. "How much will you pay us?" £50 each, he answered, and they all agreed and went to the vineyard to work. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon and the farmer was having his dinner. He looked out over his vineyard And do you know what he was thinking, don't you? Goodness me, he said, it's nearly the end of the day, but I've still got so many grapes to pick. I need one last lot of workers. So he went off to the town again. But who do you think he found there? All the people nobody else wanted. The ones nobody trusted, the ones nobody liked, the ones nobody thought were any good at anything. I'll give you work, he said. Come with me. But nobody likes us or thinks we're any good, they said. How much will you pay us? £50 each, he answered. They all agreed and went to the vineyard to work. It was the end of the day. All the workers lined up to be paid their wages. Those who came last at 5 o'clock were the first in the queue. The farmer paid them £50 each. Then he paid those who started at work at 3 o'clock. Then 12, then 9. He paid each one of them £50. Hold on a minute, yelled the strongest workers, who'd been there since 6 o'clock in the morning. We've worked all day for you in the hot sun. They've only just arrived. You can't pay them the same as us. It's not fair. Yes, it is, said the farmer. You all agreed to work for £50, and that's what I'm paying. It's perfectly fair. You all get the same. And then he added, it's my money and my vineyard after all. Why can't I be generous if I want to? Why can't those who came last get the same as those who were first?
When Jesus finished telling this story, his friends must have been very surprised indeed. The farmer didn't need to pay those who came later as much as the others, but he decided to anyway. It didn't seem fair, but the farmer was generous and gave them more than they deserved. He didn't want those who came early to think they were more important than the others who came later on. While you close your eyes, think about all the people who take care of you and give you what you need because they love you, not because you deserve it. Dear God, thank you for those times when we get more than we deserve. Help us to be pleased when that happens to other people too. Help us also to remember that other people are just as important as we are. Amen.